Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Now, we got some indie rock stuff on the channel today, and a couple of these bands have already been on the channel before, but we're looking forward to checking them out again because they're very cool bands. This first band up we had on the channel before, this is Arya. Their new track for us is called Golem, so let's check it out. Dirty. Yeah. Man, this has got a loose feel to it. Very cool. Love that bass. Yeah, man. There's some real dissonant sounds in there. And this one is really different. Very cool. Yeah. Wow. That was superb. Jesus. Kind of took me by surprise, that one did. I remember their other track was quite different, but these guys have got something going on, I think. That is really quality and different and unique, and just moving in a strange way, but it sounds great. I don't know how the drummer keeps that time. I could find the beat in this track, but I have no idea what the time signature was, or even if there was a time signature, because it was all over the place. But they kept in time. I don't know how they'll do it live, but Jesus, that was all over the place. The drumming was just so offbeat, didn't come in where and end where you thought it was going to end, but it sounded great. It didn't feel jarring in that respect. Like sometimes offbeat music, mathcore stuff or whatever. It's cool that it's got a weird time signature and that it's, different, but it actually hasn't got a good groove to it. You can't really get into it because it's just all over the place. It's too jarring and disjointed, but this didn't. It flowed. There was still a beat in there. It was just, the time signature was crazy. So yeah, dope that they managed to do that, work it out. Now the sounds that they brought into this mix were really unusual. The bass sounded amazing, had a nice fuzziness to it, but it had a different sound to it as well. And the way it cut through the mix on those runs, really loved it. But a lot of dissonant kind of stringy, violin-y type sounds in there, atmospheric type sounds with a dissonance to them, with an eeriness to them as well. And the vocal as well was very kind of strange and unusual, but in a cool way. Had kind of that 70s doomy flair to it, but also just... These guys have got their own thing going on, man. You couldn't really explain. If someone said to you, oh, what's Arya? What kind of band are they? You'd be like, well, you just got to hear it to really understand it. Because that's unusual music, but very, very cool. Got a very cool vibe to it. So, man, keep sending in your tracks because I'm interested to hear more of this band. That's a very interesting sound. I don't mean interesting as in, some people say, oh, that's interesting as a kind of fob off. I mean interesting as in, I'm interested to hear a lot more of that sound because it's very unusual. Very, very cool. Right, let's move on to this next band. This is Breathtaker. The track is called Youth in Asia. It's got official vid to it, so let's give it a spin. Oh yeah. We're getting the bass in today. This one's different as well by the sound of things. Great. Nice passion in the vocal. Man, we're having some great bands today. Jesus, I wasn't expecting these bands to be so great today. I really, really enjoyed that as well. This band had a lot going on, and they were quite unusual as well, thinking outside the box. Thought they had a cool indie rock vibe. I thought there was a punkiness to it as well, though. I thought there was a post-hardcoreness to it in the vocal and stuff like that. There was a passion in the vocal. There was an emotion in there. He pushed his throat, and it went from singing to kind of gravelly shouting. So, yeah, great vocal, nice passion and emotion coming through that, and working with the music to build it up, give it a kind of build and an explosion into the chorus stuff. So yeah, I thought it was great, and some weird sections in there and sounds again, nice stringy guitar sound. So yeah, this was really, really cool. Kind of reminded me of some late 90s stuff, but as well with a different edge to it, and an alternative kind of stranger edge. So man, I'm really enjoying the bands today, and I know this last guy is going to be great as well, because this is Facing Mountains. And he did a great track that we checked out on the night videos before, and in the video it was To Be Continued, and if you remember it, you'll see we finished off at this scene where he was looking into the big black hole. So this is the chapter 2, Echo Returns. So not only are we going to check out his music again, we get to see what goes on in this video. So I think we're going to have a superb bands on the music on the channel today. So I can get my words out. Let's just finish off with this guy. We've got mail. I'm going to have to keep turning that off. Keep forgetting to put it on Do Not Disturb. Anyway, this is Facing Mountains, Chapter 2, Echo Returns. Let's give it a spin.
Your ways, these beautiful days, coming out like in the heavens they're made. What goes up must come down. Another famous person lost in the crowd, falling in, crossing lines, it's hard to say. Holding on a memory, knowing I could be free, knowing I could be free with you.
Nice smoothness.
If I had a minute, you know that I would spend it, know that I would spend it with you.
This one's a bit all over the place as well. We're having a really unusual day today.
You're late, but the story continues. Shake it off, let them see what you've been through. Drag and drop, steady go. Manic impressions are stealing the show. Drifting into bliss. For how long? Holding on a memory, knowing I could be free, knowing I could be free with you. And if I had a minute, you know that I would spend it, know that I would spend it with you.
Quite a lot of sounds going on in this mix. Each different section's got different sounds to it. Pretty cool. He's feeling himself. No to be continued. So I guess that's the end of that one. I was wondering if we were going to get a to be continued again and he's going to keep it going. Very cool. Nice, smooth track. Well, as I say, there's a bunch of sounds going on in this mix. Each section had a different bunch of sounds to go along with it. Synthy sounds and stuff like that, but they were all very nice and smooth, and his vocals very nice and smooth, well recorded, layered up nicely to give it a thickness as well. So yeah, just came across great. But again, a bunch of different stuff going on, you know, vocoder sections, a more poppy, dancey section in there as well with a bunch of fuzzy synths. So this one was all over the place as well. I mean, I think we've really had a bunch of strange bands on the channel today. And I don't mean strange as in they're crappy strange. I mean, they're just different. They're not run-of-the-mill, normal type of sounding bands. You know, a lot of bands, within the first 5 seconds, you've got an idea what they're all about. And you've heard that sound before. You've heard that guitar tone before. You've heard those kind of riffs before. And you're like, oh, right, it's one of these bands. It's a hardcore band or a death metal band or whatever. You couldn't say that about any of these bands today. You know, if someone says to you, oh, what are these bands like today? You're like, well, you got to watch the video, mate, because I couldn't explain it to you. I'd have to run you through the whole track to explain what's going on, because it's really quite unusual. You haven't heard this stuff before. If you have, you haven't heard it very many times, I can tell you that, because we check out a lot of different music on this channel, and we don't run across bands like this too often. Very, very nice. All high quality as well, you know. These guys aren't thinking outside the box, but they're a bit crappy, and, you know, they're kind of very, very much underground, kind of in their bedroom type stuff. This is quality music as well. High production, very well made, nicely recorded and mixed and all the rest of it. It's just that they're very unusual sounds and unusual bands. But man, I want to hear all these guys again. So definitely keep sending your music into the channel every time you put it out, because this is the kind of music you don't come across very often. And I just enjoy it. You know, I just enjoy hearing stuff you don't normally hear, because there's a lot of bands out there, as I say, kind of doing stuff that's already been done or keeping up a great sound, and that's great. But I'd really, really kind of appreciate the bands that are thinking outside the box, bringing something new to the table, trying to create their own kind of vibe and sound and whatever within music. I think that's just super dope. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show today, guys. That's going to be it. We'll see you around. Bye.